The Botanic Garden in Limbe has numerous sections which has over the years attracted visitors from across Cameroon and the world. It begins with the remarkable Limbe River, which separates the garden and the busy streets of Limbe. Its entrance is imposing with a bridge over the Limbe River. A plan of the garden speaks of relaxation zones, then the Commonwealth graves which carry a volume of history. One section which has also a rich historical background is the jungle village. This part of the garden was carved out in the 50s. The jungle village was designed to be an area for celebrations. From the early 60s, the jungle village hosted memorable cultural and social activities. At the cultural level, it hosted choral singing and traditional dance competitions. The choral groups were drawn from primary schools, colleges, and religious groups, while the traditional dance groups cut across youth and civilian circles. Musical groups animated ceremonies in jungle village. These activities attracted the media, as journalists were usually invited for live coverages and perform the role of judges during competitions. Memories of jungle village linger with persons of the older generation. Mwemba Myombo, veteran journalist, recalls sweet memories of the jungle village in Limbe.
The jungle village per se wasn't like this. You know, the topography of the area, you see, nature had made it and conditioned it this way. And so when they realized that this place could be an amphitheater, a good amphitheater, open air amphitheater, they started using it for so many activities, cultural activities, religious activities, receiving of personalities, and many other activities. Then at one point in time, it was renovated. I remember as far back as 1989, I'm sure it's around February, you look at the plaque, by some venturers who came from Britain. They called themselves the Operation Rally. They came, what you are seeing, this renovation you are seeing like this was done by those venturers. Young British men and women who came here and did a lot of work and renovated this. And ever after that, the jungle village had a different dimension, where more activities started coming. I remember very well the Secretary General of the Commonwealth, Chief Anyaoku, came here, and this is where he was received. And by then, the mayor of Limbe at the time was Catherine Eposimeboka. She was the first lady mayor in Cameroon. And so she received Chief Anyaoku here in the jungle village. And I remember very well when Chief Anyaoku was making his speech, and talked about Victoria, and then said, Limbe ou Victoria, c'est la même chose. And people laughed. It was so interesting. And after that, I remember Prince Charles also came here. He came here and he was received here. It was so colorful. So the jungle village has been a place for good programs, receptions for people, so people come and do their traditional dances here. And then one other major activity that took place here a few years back, Professor Elvis Ngole, when you see right behind me where the the podium is, there was a big occasion here when Professor Elvis Ngole, as Minister of Forestry and Wildlife, came here in this jungle village and had a wonderful reception of the gorillas that were taken away and they were repatriated back to Cameroon. Those gorillas, if to the best of my knowledge they are still in the Wildlife Center, then we shall see them. So it was here in the jungle village that particular occasion, it was a national occasion, big occasion here at the jungle village by Professor Elvis Ngole, then Minister of Wildlife and Forestry. And so you see the jungle village, if you look at it, you look at the canopy, the forest surrounding it, it's very unique. The species, you can't find them anywhere. They are so unique, they give it a cozy outlook. And not only that, during the dry season, when places are very hot, people come here for good rest. There are others who come here as a place of retreat. During the dry season, you come and see people who sit here from morning to evening praying. It's so quiet. So quiet, they sit in a quiet corner here and pray. Some stay the night and do all-night prayers. And churches also come here. So the jungle village is a place that you can always remember that has much to do not only in the history of Limbe, but in the history of Cameroon. There are those who come just for marriages. They come and do their marriages here. Some come for their honeymoon. Others come for love. You know, the setting is good for everything. For love, for harmony, for peace, for prayer, for dances, for culture, for tourism. So you see that it is the setting. The setting, it depends on how you want to put it into use. You know, the setting is just that good. You know, you have your occasion, you have everything done. And it is a place where it is not limited to population. It can take as many people as possible. You see, you can't say you don't tie it down to 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. As many people as they come, there's sufficient space for people to stand and vantage points for them to stand. And this place was not as developed as it is now. So I remember here at the center of the jungle village, there was a wonderful fruit tree. We used to call it as children, all Victoria old boys and girls who know that tree. The fruit is called black bobby water. Black bobby water, I think the botanic name by the experts, they say is mangosteen. Very sweet. So that attracted us to the jungle village all the time because it was a big tree and had so many of those fruits. So we came here, harvested those fruits, very succulent and sweet. And so before even the jungle village was developed like this in the 50s, as children, and the early 60s, we were making good use of this jungle village because of the fruit. That particular fruit and many other fruits. When you look around, you even see Banka School, there were many other fruits there. But because the place has been adapted to other ceremonies, it was open, so porous, we could come through Njembe, the entrance to the SGO's residence, that is behind the Atlantic Beach Hotel. We could also cross the river Limbe, because we used to come and swim there as children. There was a place called Tim Tim. Water that the Germans left, that potable water that we used to drink. We could cross anywhere, whatever activities were here, we could cross anywhere. And I remember even during Christmas, we used to come here and enjoy ourselves, not only in the garden. Sometimes we used to come down this way to do some hide and seek, you know, but in the garden, which was as clean as it was. I remember just immediately after independence, even before independence and after independence, we used to hire cycles from town. We had the Roach bicycle, the Raleigh bicycle. We come and ride it in the Botanic Garden. Then we came with our small record players. We had this Lulumon and 504, you know, where we used to put 6 batteries and we play. And then you put your music and you play and dance and enjoy yourself from morning to evening during Christmas, during Easter, and many other festive days here at the Botanic Garden.